Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 54 of Frantic Nerdcast.
Welcome indeed. Another week, another episode of absolute frantic madness, which we love to bring to all of you, and we know you love and enjoy it.
So you definitely brought the frantic last week. So
Your microphone isn't working. I might help if you plug that in, Zach.
We are leaving that in. We are not starting again. We are leaving that in, you fucking peanut.
I plugged everyone
There
else's
we
mic in,
go.
but mine.
We have a Zach, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Zach. What a start.
Look, okay, many episodes ago, and since then, I've always said that we are definitely, we love our firsts. That is the first time we've had someone try to talk whilst not being plugged in. Thank you,
Yes.
Zach. Thank you very much for that. That's fantastic.
Thought my headset sounded weird there. That would be why.
That could be why.
Do you want to try again, Zach? How are you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Good now. Yep. I'm ready to be heard, ready for some fun. But yeah, definitely you brought the franticness back last week and I've continued it this week. So
Are you sure you're ready to be heard?
That's just fucking brilliant. That's just brilliant.
usually have no trouble being heard. So that's first.
Oh, exactly. Now, look, every week we usually kick it off with our rumours, go through our rather than our rumours, our screenshots from the social media. First thing I wanted to touch on before we get into that was something that you and I spoke about very briefly the other week, and that's the Pokemon TCG game.
Yes,
and a little thing.
the collector one.
The collector one. Fantastic game. Addictive as fuck.
On the phone?
On the phone, yep.
Yep.
So it's a mobile TCG game. It's awesome. It's been around since like December-ish it came out. Something made millions and millions of dollars in its first few weeks, which is not surprising. But yeah, they've released the trading component of the game where you can trade with other people of cards.
It's fucked.
And it's annoying.
You have to use consumables to trade, but you can only trade specific value cards for specific value cards. So I couldn't trade you 2 diamonds for a...
So you can't help a brother out.
For a 2 diamond one. Kind of, like if you had a 2 diamond card and I had 2 1 diamond cards and you needed both those 1 diamonds and I needed your 2 diamond, I couldn't trade you my 2 for 1 card kind of thing. It has to be 2 diamonds for a 2 diamond card.
So they've done that, but they've also limited what you can actually trade. So you can't do like up to a certain point, because I think it goes from like you get 1, 2, and 3 diamond, and then you get gold star 1, 2, and 3, and then you've got crown, which is like your gold.
So is this to
ones.
stop people out there like paying to win and also then like having someone...
I mean, you can't pay to win. It's pack opening.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but like if there's someone out there that's like buying all the packs and then like selling those like cards to people by trading for something random.
It's an unlimited supply of packs.
Yeah.
It's not like a trading card shop that has 2 booster boxes.
But you have to go and open those packs or spend time to open those packs to find the cards you need. So
you do.
Going out to buy one is going to be infinitely quicker always.
So my thought of what they're going to do is I reckon they're going to have events or periods of time where something will be going on, and that's where they'll open it up so you can do so many of those trades during that time. I think that's what they'll do, because they've pretty much got one event every month basically. Usually they have like one where you battle like other people with the cards that you have or decks that you can build, which is a pretty cool mechanic. It's nice and simple. They're usually pretty quick games.
In all honesty,
it's really well done.
I actually prefer the collector card game as opposed to the official card game. So the official card game, pretty much you have 6 prizes. So you put 6 of your cards down face down. Every time you beat one of your opponent's Pokemon, you claim a prize. First to claim all 6 wins. And this one, and you can have 5 Pokemon in your bench, I think, and you have 1 out fighting. And all your mana, your energy is in your deck. Whereas this one, you build a deck and you have an energy deck, and you can have a 20-card deck as opposed to a 50-card deck, I think it is. 3 Pokemon benched and 1 out in play. But every turn, you draw a card from your mana deck and you can assign it to a Pokemon, which is just beautiful because you don't get minute out, which happens all the time in games like Magic and Pokemon where your energy is in your deck. And the games are fucking quick. So I so much prefer it over the other one.
And they've time capped it as well. So you've got so long to actually make a turn or it just changes hands and whatnot. It's a really, really simple, really nice mechanic. And the cards aren't too complex yet in regards to like this goes into that,
there
goes
is-
into this, goes into that.
There's some
It'll
fucking
happen.
meta in it already.
But there is, yeah.
But as I say, like if there's ever something meta-based or things like that, like people always try to find the ultimate combo.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why, I come back to the being able to trade cards. I think that's maybe why they've put some limits onto it.
But there's already limits in place where within the game, like you can only have 2 of a card. Right? So because you can only have 2 of a card, it does limit your ability to be able to do the same thing every single time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and it's good that there isn't like one meta deck. There's
There is.
but
There's one I've come up against so many fucking times. It's
Which one's that?
It's a card. They've got a basic water Pokemon called Menafi.
Manafi. Yeah.
And essentially you put 1 energy on it, and every turn when you attack, you put 2 energy on your cards in your bench.
No. You put 1 on each of your bench Pokemon.
Yeah, 1 on each. And so after 3 turns, every single one of your bench Pokemon can attack. Like do their big fuck off attacks, especially if you've got EX decks, which you like your big monsters kind of thing.
No,
and
see, I've
just been flogged. Every time I see it, I'm like, yeah, fucking.
No, see,
crash out of this one.
I'm able to get her, and again, it comes down to what you're able to draw for like early on. Because if he gets it early and can play early, he will just manner up his guys and then get you.
Every single time I played a deck of it, it's the first card out.
No, look, I've been able to pip him coming out a few times and getting through, and that's where I say like there's multiple meta decks. Like there's a
In fairness,
psychic,
I
there's
play a
fighter
semi-meta deck.
Well, there you go. There is like a psychic meta, there is a fighting meta, there is an electric meta, et cetera, et cetera. And as they bring out new cards, it's good because some of those new cards will boost the other ones, but then some of the new cards will also almost make the previous meta thing like almost useless.
Yeah, that's
which is it's still quite well balanced in my opinion.
I play a green deck, which is like your forest one, and I've got a card in there. It's a Pokemon. And you put 2 energy. It costs 2 energy to attack, but for each energy attached to it, you flip a coin, and on heads it does 50 damage. And then I've got another card in the deck that when it gets to a 3rd evolution, it doubles the amount of energy attached to a Pokemon. So by the end of some battles, this Pokemon is doing 12 coin flips and doing like upwards of
that's
of 600 damage.
So that one there is your that'll be your Celebi and your Serperior.
Yeah.
I've come up against that one, and if you can get a nice little quick punchy fire deck,
I've many times. Yeah.
The fire deck, I that was one of my favorite ones. Running with a Ponyta with a Rapidash with Blaine, and that does 70, which does your 90 to your fire guys, and then you can get your Ninetales with your 90 plus your 20, and it just fucking gets them.
And that's usually what's good with card games. Like not really, I've played only a bit of Magic, but like played things like Hearthstone and Legends of Runeterra, which are like the online card games for
Hearthstone is just World of Warcraft, the card game, just computerized.
But like they always have decks that are stronger than others. So there's usually like 3 or 4 meta decks, and those meta decks usually counter each other. Like one deck is your fast out of the gate. If it does enough damage early, it wins. If it doesn't, it loses. If this deck survives enough, it wins. Sort of thing. So usually it follows that sort of. There's usually 4 or 5 decks that are
the one
meta.
thing I have noticed that there is a lot of sort of what's called net decking, and essentially in this specifically, like essentially the best decks that win like tournaments and stuff like that, essentially someone will put them on the internet.
Yeah.
And so people go on the internet and go, oh, it's the best deck. I'm just going to copy that exact deck and put it in and play it and win every time.
Yeah.
Kind of net decking is frustrating, but you know, whatever.
But that's anything tournament based. Like people do the same thing in Warhammer and things like that. Oh, this tournament, this list won. I'm just going to take this list.
Okay.
Exactly.
Off of Pokemon.
I was going to say we waffled a bit longer than I expected. But.
Okay. On to some news. So my first piece of we call it news. It's not fucking news. It's all rumors. This one actually is news, but John Lithgow is playing Professor Dumbledore in the Harry Potter series.
Okay.
Confirmed?
It is confirmed.
I was like, because I read something the other day that none have been confirmed, so that might be the first one. Because someone, they put out an open casting call for a lot of the roles, and they knocked back one for Hermione. It was a 48-year-old male.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's like,
why not? Why not?
So my one is Disney's live action version of Gargoyles, which I know we've spoken about before, but it's still in the works with Atomic Monster and Blumhouse.
nice.
I'm keen for Blumhouse.
Blumhouse involvement will give it like that bit of a more darker horror edge. That'd be sick. I can't remember if we said this or not, but it's on point for tonight's episode. But Kit Harington rumored to play Hush in the Batman Part 2.
I saw that. I think I was meant to talk about that last week and it slipped my mind. But yes.
All right. Sorry, incels, chuds, bigots, and YouTube grifters. The Rings of Power has officially been renewed by Amazon for seasons 3 of a planned 5-season arc.
I didn't mind it.
Now,
I said it was my
so many fucking neckbeards. It's not fucking camera. Fuck off. It's a great show.
Yeah, it was my 5th on my list. It's the one I did. It slipped my mind last week when I was recapping it for Brock. But yeah, it was my number 5.
Look, it's not an amazing show, but it is a great show.
Yeah, I watched,
If that makes sense.
season 1, season 2, basically back to back, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish.
All right, what do you got?
So continuing on with the Batman theme, so Batman Part 2 will take place a week after the conclusion of The Penguin during the winter.
Yep.
The Penguin story plays out over the next weeks that you take towards the end of the year. We don't play Christmas or New Year's, but we're getting there.
Because Penguin was really only like over like a week long.
8 weeks, I think it was.
Yeah.
From memory, it was like 8 or 9 weeks. I do remember talking about it ages ago. It was a fairly short, like punchy period. Halo is officially getting a new prequel releasing this year.
Netflix has picked it
I
up.
was about to say, on that note, Netflix has picked it up. It's coming to Netflix.
So do you think they will?
No, like the cancelled series.
No, I think this is actually a game by the sounds of what I was looking at.
Oh, but we're saying like the
but
Halo
I
TV
hadn't
series.
seen that.
Yeah,
is
no,
getting
it's
released on Netflix.
been
It's
on
in
the coming soon thing on the
Yeah.
like the if you stop watching Netflix and it has the like flashes.
Yeah.
Start. Yeah, it's one of those coming soon.
I don't
Fuck
think
yeah.
they won't pick it up. That's just they're just releasing the seasons that are already out.
Yeah, fair enough. But it just sort of gave me a little bit of hope that they continue if they
fairness,
picked it up.
I don't mind that it got cancelled where it got cancelled because.
But I'd love to see more.
I'd love to see more, but it kind of got cancelled where the game kind of.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, like kind of thing. So
There's more to tell.
It kind of leads into the games in a way, but you know. What else have we got? Pacific Rim. Charlie Hunnam returning as Beckett and Guillermo del Toro as a director for Pacific Rim 3.
Love to see it. Don't think it'll
Yeah,
happen.
no.
Yeah, that'd be good. One that I know our mate Dave will thoroughly enjoy, and you will too, AJ. Alan,
AG.
AG.
Hey, fucking AG.
Should we unplug his mic again?
I'm off to a great start. Alan Richardson confirmed Blue Mountain State sequel series will be happening on Amazon. I'm trying to work into my schedule.
Baby.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, I think it's going to be the best season of BMS we've ever had.
For those who haven't watched Blue Mountain State, fuck, it is funny.
I know
funny.
Dave's told me
Like,
that
it's
5 times to watch it.
Like Alan, before he was like he's big in it, but it was before he was massive, and it's just his comedic chops, man, are so good. The first, like he plays like the over the top Captain Jock of the series.
Yeah.
The first episode, all the freshmen have to do like their hazing initiation tasks to get into the house,
Yeah, right.
and they have to put an Oreo between their ass and run 100 yards. And if it falls out, they lose. And
Sure.
he's got his up and like he's running and like he wins, everyone else's falls out kind of thing. And then everyone turns around like, oh, and he turns around and he pulls it out his ass and he goes, and just eats it and then like sniffs his hands. And one of my other favorite comments from one of the seasons.
That's not funny. That's just fucked.
Like he squeals. His squeal is hilarious. But one of my favorite comments he makes, and it's just in the background, like as something's happening, you just hear him in the background go, yeah, I always thought you could only wipe your ass 3 times, but you're allowed to wipe it more.
Okay, that's funny.
I was like, that's good. I like that.
I'd say, so I've seen, because he plays the younger version of Scully and Hitchcock in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and like he's, the 2 minutes he's in that episode, he's hilarious in that, so.
Cillian Murphy is reportedly being eyed to play Professor Quirrell in the upcoming Harry Potter
I don't mind that
series.
casting.
Yeah, it'd be good.
I've got Evil Dead Burn, the newest entry in the Evil Dead franchise, coming in fall 2026. The last Evil Dead was sensational. So if you like horror movies, get excited.
That was because that came out year before last.
I think it was the start of 24, maybe. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it yet, but I do want to.
So something I'm incredibly excited for is as possible the new Hunter x Hunter new season will get an announcement very soon. Hunter x Hunter will be featured at the Anime Japan 2025 in the television booth. So yeah, very heavily rumored that it will be coming back, which will be fantastic.
I've never watched Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah,
I've seen all the stuff, and I've seen like when I was over in Japan, saw all the card games and stuff focused on it and all that, but I've never watched it.
It's fantastic. So basically, hunters are like these. It's like a profession where basically they go out and do all the weird, wacky, dangerous sort of tasks that normal people don't want to do, and every hunter sort of specializes in a different thing. You basically follow Gon, who's trying to find his dad, who is like rumored to be one of the best hunters to ever have lived, sort of thing, and go through and he like learns how to control Nen, which is like the hunter sort of power source and things. And yeah, it's quite good. The last arc is, although I think it was a bit long, it's fantastic. The Chimera Ant arc, where basically whenever an ant eats something, it gains their powers and eventually starts like eating all the hunters and like becoming like this super dominant race and things like that. So yeah, it's fantastic. Some of the fight scenes are incredible. And
I swear to God, man, some fucking manga writers are on drugs when they come up with these ideas.
100%.
I'll get onto it later, but I've been reading a lot of manga lately.
Yeah.
Fuck me, there are some weird people out there.
What, Dan to Dan didn't show you that already?
Oh, no, dude. Like some of the mangas I've been reading are just out there.
Well, before you go, I would say, but if it doesn't get released, Hunter x Hunter at least ended, as you always are worried about with anime. It ended in a pretty good spot. So if it gets picked up, fantastic. If it doesn't, I'm all good.
Okay. That is one major issue, which again I'll touch on later when we get into the comic-y section. But mangas, animes usually only get like a season, like 12 episodes, and it usually touches like the first 4 volumes of a manga, and there's so much more, and you never get to know. So you got to read the. All right, what do you got?
This is a bit of a left field one, but Taylor Lautner. Werewolf Hunter.
I saw this.
The Twilight Star will play the real-world version of himself, who becomes a werewolf hunter while moonlighting as a Hollywood actor.
It sounds awesome.
Fucking great.
Awesome.
It's out there, but yeah, I'm keen.
I think that is
a good
something.
Actor
That's something I'll watch.
He's a good actor who couldn't break free of Twilight.
Yes,
like Kirsten Stewart broke free, Robert Pattinson broke free.
Yeah.
He unfortunately is one of the ones as well as the family who just couldn't break free.
What do you mean?
of
He
it.
was fantastic in Grown Ups too.
He was good in that. I did enjoy him.
But like his roles are good that he does, but he's not had another.
That's the thing. He ends up having those sort of comedic sidekick roles.
Because there was a good movie where he was like a young. His parents were CIA agents or something that.
He was a CIA, and it was like lots of parkour and shit.
Yeah.
It was like the first one he did after Twilight.
Yeah, and that was a good movie.
Yeah.
But again, while you're watching it, you're kind of like werewolf.
Yeah. This one is very exciting for a lot of nerds out there. Netflix D&D series from Deadpool and Wolverine director reportedly in the works.
Yeah.
Isn't it like the third D&D series that's apparently in the works?
Probably.
Because I mean, I'm sure we've spoken about it before.
And apparently we're not getting a sequel to the movie. So
yeah. Apparently, because that pickup, I seen something about it. It's like a good news, bad news, where it is
set in the same world, but
same world, not the same characters. However, there might be like tie-in type things.
See, I don't mind that because D&D is such a wide range of things. I'm happy for them to keep the same universe and maybe have a cameo from one of the characters in a future one. But yeah,
exactly.
One for AJ, not AG, but AJ. So in the new X-Men live action for Rogue, a casting suggested is Hilary Duff. I literally just saw it and said it for AJC's to get his take.
No.
Who do you want?
So far, the only...
He wants the fucking 97 cartoon version.
Yep. CG, the 97 cartoon version, same voice actor. The only one I've seen who I could see in the role was Alexander Daddario.
Yeah.
I could see like her face as Rogue, but I don't see her with the accent. Is my only issue. The accent's the most important part.
That real southern drawl.
But the other rumored castings, I'm pretty much like Jean Grey is Sadie Sink, the redhead chick from Stranger Things.
And another one I heard for Rogue was Elizabeth Giles, who was from like a Nickelodeon kids show, but then ended up playing one of the main roles in Dynasty, the remake on the Netflix series.
Oh yes,
yeah. So I saw her as one. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah, I don't know what route they're going. I feel like they're probably going to go the young, fresh, new X-Men kind of
with
route.
the casting, or at least with the supposed casting,
yeah.
rumored casting. That's what it seems like. Who knows? They might even try to bring some of the actors in from like who've portrayed it previously. I mean,
Well, see, that's
who knows?
whoever. If it's someone else playing Wolverine, I think they're just
Well,
going to.
apparently Cavill's been casted. Fucking,
Yeah, but even then, it's still
No,
not going to be Hugh
Take
Jackman.
that with a
like-
grain of salt.
he's too busy with Warhammer. Let him concentrate
Yes,
on Warhammer.
agreed.
We want Warhammer to be good.
Cavill, you have one job: Warhammer. That's it.
Yep.
Jackman's got till he's 90 anyways. So, Terraforming Mars, the role-playing game coming soon.
As in, the board game.
Yeah, the board
Terraforming
game,
Mars,
and they're
yeah.
going to do a role-playing game
Yeah,
about
that's-
it. I thought that sounded pretty fucking
They've been
interesting.
talking about that for a while.
Yeah,
that
they
one,
have
yeah.
been.
Yeah.
Well, when I stumbled across, because we've played
The cover
with dice
leaked
and
the
whatnot,
other
and-
day.
Yeah,
But leaked.
yeah.
But yeah,
I think
would
that's
be
a
interested
very
in it.
cool concept. Very cool concept because I mean, Terraforming Mars is about terraforming Mars, bringing in the war, like the trees, the life, like
I
actually
imagine the
building
conflict
resources and
would
whatnot.
come from like multiple countries are
Yeah.
trying to terraform, so you got to fight Soviets and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I imagine it'd
But,
be.
Yeah, and I'm really keen to see
Yeah.
what it ends up being
It'd
and the
be
mechanics and
interesting.
whatnot.
One of my favorite horror movies from way back in the day is getting its own series. 13 Ghosts
Oh,
is
yeah.
getting its own series. So 13 Ghosts essentially was a take on the Haunted House on the Hill kind of thing. But they trapped these 13 different ghosts in this house. And God, it's been a long time since I've seen it. And I think if they combined or something, something would happen. I can't remember. It was really good. It had old mate that played Shaggy
Oh yeah,
in it.
Yeah.
He was really good in it. And it was a really good movie. It had some nice sort of bloody horror in it. It wasn't really scary horror. It was more bloody horror. But yeah, it was an enjoyable movie. So I look forward to that series.
So I have quite the rumours here. So the next Arcane sequel being set in Noxus, it's rumoured to be called Steel and Chains. Very apropos because Noxus is all about the military might. So Steel and Chains with LeBlanc, who's meant to be one of the new villains in it.
Like Matt LeBlanc.
Not quite. The main setting. So the main setting will be in Noxus, and the plot will focus on the confrontation between Swain and LeBlanc. Mel will be the main character, and her story will be connected with the mysterious organisation, the Black Rose, who we were introduced to at the end of Arcane. The new seasons will have 10 episodes. There's also rumours that there will be a Jinx spin-off set in Ionia, and the creators of the animated series have expanded the team of writers to make the story more complex and deep.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can't get rid of your most popular character.
yeah.
So something's got to happen there with Jinx.
But that's the thing. So Jinx is obviously one of the most popular, but going into Noxus, there are several other popular characters like Darius and Draven in particular.
No. I mean, see,
From people.
gamers,
No.
gamers is popular for general public. She is Harley Quinn.
Oh, no, I'm aware.
She is the character that people who have never played League of Legends know about.
Yeah.
I just don't want to admit it.
No, I'm aware. Jinx is number one. The only other one I think that could touch Jinx for popularity with the common folk would be Teemo, only because Teemo is cute and everyone loves Teemo, unless you play the game, in which case you fucking hate Teemo. But no, Draven and Darius, I think, are two characters that will have the personality and the charisma just to connect with everyone and sort of things.
Look, in any case, if they've got the same writing that they had in the first two, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
So it's incredible.
I think this is going to be brilliant. The only other series I'd like them to go down next would I like them to do something with the harrowing, so like the undead mystical sort of spectral side of League of Legends. So I think that would be really cool and transfer well to the screen.
I got two quick ones. So Hogwarts Legacy 2, apparently it is already in development. So that's awesome because that was a really cool open world game. I enjoyed it. Filled some time. It was good. Jeff Wadlow, Truth or Dare, and James Watkins, Speak No Evil, are key candidates to direct Clayface. The casting process has also begun.
Nice. Alan Tudyk's playing him?
I don't know. I had another rumor that I thought I'd gotten a screenshot
Yeah,
of. Which,
I think we were talking about that rumor.
yeah, but it wasn't Alan Tudyk. It was someone else. And I'm kind of like, hang on, but Alan Tudyk did it in Creature Commandos. And one of the big things that Gunn is going for is if he casts a character and gets it to happen, it's a continuation from animation to game to live action. So the snippet that I seen, I was kind of like, well, again,
Speaking of
grain salt.
Clayface, Batman 95 animated series, one of Clayface's episode in that is phenomenal. The Nighttime World. It's a horror film that sees 4 terrifying tales revealed on a late night podcast by its host and a caller who claims to be a vampire, coming to Amazon Prime. And then this one, I saw this is good. The second Captain America 4, which we'll be talking about later, the second highest opening for a Captain America film. Captain America Winter Soldier 36.9 and Captain America the First Avenger 25.7.
Yeah, right.
And then underneath it has a picture of Anthony Mackie saying "suck it, haters."
One that I've seen a few rumours for, building on each other, but basically Paramount has the next live-action Transformers film in the works with Shia LaBeouf and a lot of the original cast returning to round out the story.
Yeah, no, fuck them. Keep them off until just get the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover that we had all been promised.
Yep. Make that happen. Back onto X-Men and whatnot casting, but Javier Bardem for Mr. Sinister.
I saw this. Yeah, I'm all for that.
That'd be sick.
100% do it.
That would be so
That's
fucking
some good casting.
I didn't really know much about the character, but I saw the rumor. So
apparently, I saw a thing. Apparently, in the comics, Sinister and Gambit are brothers now.
Okay.
Apparently, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I saw something about that. Arya Stark, West of the World, from the creators of Games of Thrones, is season 1 coming in May on Max.
Okay.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. I reckon.
And then
is it a continuation?
Yeah, continuation.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. The season 2 of Shogun, The Writer Room is Working Hard, revealed Hiroyuki Sanada.
Nice.
Christopher Eccleston and Billy Piper returning as the Ninth Doctor and Rose in a series of new audio adventures on Big Finish.
Rattling off his last one.
I got 2.
I've got like heaps more.
Yeah, so do I.
I've got. I'm
We got one more each.
All right. Well, I'm going with 2 because the first one I'm doing straight away. It's been revealed that Henry Cavill will be the next Bond. No, just stick to Warhammer, please. And then something I actually think would be pretty cool.
That would be much bigger news if it was announced. If the actual Bond was announced, it'd be much bigger news.
Yeah.
Disney reportedly wants to develop a Kim Possible revival.
I did see this.
I'm all for that. Kim Possible is brilliant.
That'd be sick.
That's me done.
All right, well, I'll quickly rattle off 2. Daredevil, the episodes have been released, or at least the timing for the episodes. So we're March 4, we're getting 1 and 2. 11, we're getting 3. 18th, we're getting episode 4. And then on March 25, we're getting episodes 5 and 6.
Because only 6 episodes.
Only 6 episodes?
6 episodes.
Fuck, they're going to be brilliant.
Yep. And the other one that I just found was breaking. James McAvoy in talks to play Clayface in the upcoming DC film. That was the one that I was thinking of. But no, again, Alan Tudyk played it. So yeah.
Marvel's Rivals game director and full team have just been laid off. And we've got John Krasinski posted, "So good to be back. The Jack Ryan movie is off and running. Huge thank you to the incredible folks here in Dubai for letting us kick off in epic fashion in this beautiful city. Here we go."
I've heard that those are really good.
Fantastic show.
I haven't watched it.
Fantastic show. It's a great show. I highly recommend watching it, especially if you like espionage kind of shows. It's really,
I think
really
I'm about
good.
to start The Night Agent as well.
Night Agent is great. I haven't watched the second season yet, but yeah, the first season is phenomenal.
Yeah, we haven't started second season yet.
Okay, let's get into it straight away. Movies. The team went and had a team date.
We did a thing.
We did a thing.
Spoilers.
There
will be spoilers.
We are about to talk about Captain America 4. Captain America
Brave New World.
Brave New World. That was what it was called. Okay, so here is our spoiler-free review. Then we will continue after that with spoilers.
Okay.
All right.
Spoiler-free
review.
But we're going to give a spoiler warning up the top just in case.
Spoiler-free review. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. Not the best movie. That's my spoiler-free review.
Okay.
The trailer let the movie down. The movie didn't let itself down.
I went in wanting more from this movie, and unfortunately, I didn't get what I wanted out of this movie.
See, I went in with very little expectations, and I walked out thoroughly satisfied.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that was my problem.
That is... Look, come here. That was the spoiler-free review. So we recommend, all of us say go see it. It was a good movie.
Definitely go see it.
It's one of the better Marvel movies released recent time.
If you don't want to hear spoilers, skip for 20 minutes. If we're still talking about Captain America, keep going. All right. Spoiler warning. Boop, 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 boop. Spoilers.
What happened to our spoiler
I
button?
don't know. I think I went over it somehow, somewhere. Yeah, it's not
Literally
here anymore.
should be our most used button.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's gone.
Look, in any case,
right,
Captain
start,
America:
Brock.
Brave New World. I mean, it's been out for what, a week and a half, 2 weeks now. We get introduced to some characters that we already knew were going to be there via the trailer and via people talking and whatnot. I mean, we get Red Hulk, we get our new Falcon, we get the Ruth Bat-Saraf, our ex-Black Widow, Sidewinder.
So many problems with her.
Yeah. We see Samuel Stearns, or the leader, however due to rights. As I understand, he's referenced as other names, which actually annoyed me when they first started talking about him, because it was like the first reference was we're talking about the buyer, and you're like, why was there so much emphasis on saying the buyer? We know that someone's there to buy it. Like, you literally just bury, like, we all know who that fucking is now, just because they went, oh, is everybody listening? Okay, everybody, guys, the buyer. You're like, what the fuck? Like, anyways, that annoyed me straight out of the gate.
I think that'll annoy the nerds like you that know the backstory, because I didn't know the leader was the character. I didn't know his name was the leader, so therefore it was just like, whatever, and I moved on from it.
Yeah.
But you knowing that, putting the emphasis on it and like having a name like that sort of thing, I think it would affect people like you more than it would affect the average viewer.
Look, it was just annoying. It was like, just fucking say, like, anywho, that's my little bit. What else I say? Good to see. Generally not a surprise was Liv Tyler at the end as Betty Ross, because it wasn't announced or anything. Like, everybody sort of expected to see her in some way, shape or form, but it wasn't really known. So I thought that was a good touch.
And the few ways she was brought up throughout the movie did sort of lead it to the way of, she's probably not going to be in the movie.
You see a couple of still images of her on the president's desk and stuff like that.
Phone call.
And screenshots from the original movie and things like that.
Yeah, so I thought that was a really nice touch. And Bucky Barnes, it was good to see him in his congressman get up. So that was pretty much all the characters.
One thing I thoroughly enjoyed about this whole movie was tying in / up a lot of loose ends.
Sure.
Kind of things. So there are a lot of end credit scenes and stuff like that they kind of nipped up. Like, you got the leader, you got the fucking Tiamat, fucking lots of little things that they kind of teed up and just went, all right, you can all stop raging about this on the internet. We've settled it now. There you go. Let's just move forward, guys.
And like, on the note of Tiamat, I loved that introduction of adamantium into the world.
That's probably the biggest reveal in the movie.
It is. And like, I know that there were that many rumors about it leading into it that it's kind of like, well, that's what's going to happen. But even just the way that they did it, like, yep, this is adamantium, and now it's fucking out there, and everyone's kind of like, ooh, sweet, how are they going to use it? What I actually really liked is how Japan was the first to get it and refine it.
Yep.
Because, like, through the comics, you've got persons like
Silver Surfer, Omega Red,
Silver Samurai.
Oh, Silver Surfer.
Yeah, Silver Samurai,
Omega
Red. You've got
Lady
Deathstrike. Yeah, Lady Deathstrike. So they're all Japanese characters. So it gives a really cool tie into those who we may see.
Who are all Wolverine's enemies.
Yeah. I was going to say, that would, for me, the only connection to Japan and adamantium is the horrible Wolverine origin.
Yeah.
So basically the big baddie out of Wolverine 2 was Silver Samurai.
Yeah, what was the
Lady
Wolverine?
Deathstrike is the chick with the long fingers. In Wolverine 1, I want to say. 2. She was in 2 as well. Yeah.
What was
I don't
the
think she was in
Wolverine
one.
movie that was he goes to Japan to...
Wolverine 2.
No. That was Wolverine 3. That was the Wolverine.
The Wolverine, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
What was Wolverine 2?
That was the one when Stryker got involved. William Stryker. That was the one where he went back to his little base where he found out that, and that was where he got all his adamantium injected into him, and Stryker told him, well, you came here of your own volition and all that sort of stuff. Where Jean turns. And then you've got, because that was actually X-Men. And then X-Men 3 was when Jean dies, and then the Wolverine was number 4, I think. Maybe number 5.
No, there's 3. There's 3 solo Wolverines.
There's X-Men.
Oh, there's
X-Men 2. There's X-Men 3, and then there's
Yep, sorry.
There's that fucking, and they're all fucking Wolverine movies anyways.
Yeah, this is true.
So it's a little side quest there, but anyways, we do keep it fresh.
But yes, no, I thought, the reveal of adamantium, I think, was the biggest reveal, and I think that's where the trailer let the movie down. I think revealing Red Hulk in the trailer, I
So
get why
silly.
they did it because
They need to
it
sell
was something
tickets.
different. But I think if they had just a Hulk silhouette through a smoke shadow or
No, not
something
even
like
that.
that,
No, they didn't. Like anyone who's a comic book fan gathered he was going to be in it anyway.
Yeah.
Because Thunderbolt Ross
Yeah.
was a main character in it.
Yeah,
And as soon
exactly.
as Thunderbolt Ross is a main character in it, you're like,
Yeah, but,
Probably gonna
but
be
it-
Hulk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what it would have done is it would have built that anticipation. Like Ross is there. Fuck, we haven't seen Red Hulk. I wonder if Red
And
Hulk's
then,
going to be.
like-
And then you
like
see it, and
the
then
scene
that's where
where
you get
he's-
like, fuck yeah.
the
like
scene where he's
within
on the submarine and his hands crushing the
So
thing and
dumb.
he gets the red eyes. I was like,
No.
no, like all you need to do is just, he's getting angry, give him a little glint of red. That's
That was
all we
it.
needed to see.
Yeah.
That's all you needed to see.
and considering at one point on the submarine deck where they were on like whatever is like the main mission control deck, they had lots of those like red LED screens and things. So like that could have easily been passed off of, oh, is that Red Hulk or is it just a reflection of the screens and things?
So I had two issues with that. A, what you just said, like it was just fucking, it was dumb. But two, he's the president. He was not meant to fucking be there. Like no matter what world you fucking go to, the president is not out on the fucking submarine in the midst of it.
But he's a wartime general.
No,
Our
he's
wartime
not
president.
fucking there. No matter what fucking way you put it, the president isn't there. So that was just dumb, in my opinion. Probably my two biggest gripes
Yep.
were the CGI.
Yep.
I thought as a whole, you could see that they focused on some parts for the CGI, which meant other parts were just like, oh, come on, guys, like spread the money out a bit to just make it all cohesive. Like there was one scene towards the end when the leader walks up to Sam and like, firstly, what the fuck are you doing there? You can do all of this remotely. So what the fuck are you doing? Like you are
One of
getting
my gripes
arrested.
has to do with that.
You are getting arrested and you are getting put into the raft unless they've got something else happening with him. 17 movies into the future. Like sure, build that up. But he could have done everything from
yes.
anywhere.
Yeah, that-
he doesn't die, so therefore
Yeah.
he's playing for the
Yeah,
future.
I get that. But I mean,
Yeah,
anywho.
his whole shtick of I'm getting captured so I can expose you. You
Yeah.
could have easily exposed them through an email.
Exactly. He didn't need to be there to do that. And part two is when you're looking at him, like I don't know if I needed fucking glasses during that little scene, but it looked like he blended into the grass from the hues of the green, and then the building looked shit. Just that whole scene with him looked fucked.
So apparently
Looked fucked.
there are multiple scenes in it that were reshot to change the ending.
Sure. Okay.
So you can really notice it because apparently Ross is meant to die.
Okay.
So when Falcon stabs him at the end and it blows up,
Yeah.
and even you said it
No,
looked
I
like
said
he got
it.
blown.
Yeah, I said that,
It
yeah.
looked like he got blown up. Apparently he was meant to have been blown up.
Yeah, okay.
And when it cuts back to Sam and he's giving his speech, once Thunderbolt changes back down to his small human size and he's giving his speech, he's super in focus in the background, super out of focus,
Yeah.
and it's blatantly a green screen shot.
Yeah.
Apparently those shots were added after.
Well, then and that's what I
Hence
mean. There
why
was so
it looks
many,
so different.
and there were so many like of the background where it
So
looked just
yeah, I
shit.
think a lot of those shots were like
Reshoots.
late, like I'm talking like probably like a week before
Sure.
the movie came out, kind of changes. Because probably a future movie, they're like, oh, we need this
Yeah.
this needs to change, and they've like jumped in there.
Yeah, okay.
The fucking aerial combat scenes, especially the one surrounding Tiamat. Oh, so good.
Exactly, and that
Love those shots,
and that's where I
man.
come back
Oh.
to. You can see where they spent their money because that was fucking excellent.
I
it was
wondered
amazing.
going in how it was going to be having an aerial cap versus a non-aerial cap.
I think they did it pretty
And
well.
I think they did it really well. It was
Like
good.
between the two, like when he is on the ground and when he's up in
Yeah,
the air.
and I
like
loved
Bridges.
how they compensated for him not having the serum.
Yes,
And we were
that was
told
very
that.
well done.
Yeah. Oh, you were told multiple
was so
times he
funny.
hadn't had the serum, which I understand that they have to do that.
Yeah, and half the time they did it well, like
Because, I
especially
mean-
at the end when it's like, oh fuck, I wish I had the serum now.
When it's
Yeah,
his
yeah.
first big job as Captain Captain America, like this would be his first major sort of situation as Cap. He's going to struggle with the fact of he doesn't have the serum and Steve did. And Steve was a better Cap than him kind of thing. And I understand why it kept coming up throughout.
Oh, 100%.
But I like how they dealt. I like how he used the shield a lot. I like how, what was his little bird's name thing?
Oh, fuck. I've just
Red Hawk, Red Eye, something like that.
Red
Wing.
It's attached
Red
to
Wing.
Red Wing when he's flying away and the jet's firing him and it flies off.
It's his shield. Yeah,
and
like
Red
remote
Wing's
shield,
controlling
yeah.
it.
That's pretty cool.
That was fucking wicked. How he cuts fucking planes in half with his planes.
See,
because they've got that was brilliant that they gave him
Vibranium.
vibranium in his wings.
So
gives him a little bit of a power.
So I thought that was both brilliant and underused in my opinion.
Yep.
Because I think like at the start, like pretty much the first action scene, you can see like he
charges
throws them down in front and then it just goes and you see it start to scatter up, like just get that purple resonance around it. You're like, oh fuck yeah. And then like that's sort of it.
Yeah.
And you kind of
Until
like
the end scene.
until the Hulk scene.
yeah, exactly. But you kind
But
of
that would be why, like, it was that tease of this is going to be useful at the end.
But even when but they've teased it at the start of the movie that he's had it, and then just if they've teased it at the start, you like scatter it throughout, like make it known that it's something he can do, use, and like some sort of power, so to speak. And then it is that big culmination at the end where he absorbs all of like the big hit from Hulk, and then fucking boom, like uses it. I think that would have been better because or it's something that he gets towards the end, and then you can go, right, he's got it towards the end, and now he's using it to do this
something
big
like
thing.
he couldn't quite control in like only he could only absorb like small amounts or something, or like have a caveat of why
build to it.
Why it wasn't used during aerial combat sort of thing.
I thought it was brilliant. I just think it was underutilized, in my opinion.
Overall, so I thought it was
What are some of your good parts?
I thought it was a fantastic movie because I think it was a believable storyline.
Yep.
A lot of the
It
events.
was an espionage movie.
Yeah, a lot of the Marvel movies and things we have are over the top with superpowers here and there and like very
I
unrealistic.
think we said this to each other when it ended.
where this is basically like it's got the Marvel tweaks to it, but overall like it's a Jason Bourne movie. It's like, you know, something where there's a problem, people are going to go solve it. The whole treaty thing is a treaty problem that happens in everyday life.
Yeah.
Yes, it's today it's to do with Tiamat, but like happens over mines and oil resources and things like that every day. So overall I thought it was a great movie because it had that real world connection to it. It wasn't out in space. It wasn't a giant army coming into it. And like even the reveal with Ross being Red Hulk is, you know, every politician's got those skeletons in their closet that when they're revealed could ruin their lives like it did with Red Hulk. So overall I thought it was a great movie from start to finish. It had me thoroughly engaged and enjoying every bit.
I think that's probably where I was underwhelmed with it because I was expecting exactly what you said, like it to be a real world application type thing and just playing through that story. I think I was comparing it way too much to Winter Soldier because I fucking loved Winter Soldier movie, and when that first came out, like I think I said when we were talking about the trailer, it was more of like rather than being a movie, it was an event. It was something that you like became a part of as you're watching through it. Whereas this to me was just another Marvel movie, so to speak.
But I mean, it's not going to be Winter Soldier because the Russo brothers made Winter Soldier.
Correct.
So
Correct.
But that's why I think it's for the casual fan like myself, so to speak, having the reveal of Red Hulk in the trailer was a silly thing because I had like you guys might have known that Red Hulk is going to be important because Ross is there. I didn't really know that. The average viewer wouldn't have really known that, and a lot of the average viewers probably wouldn't have made the connection between him. Ford being Ross, since the guy that played Ross in the original Hulk movie passed away.
I think, William Hurt when he passed.
Yeah,
I think that was something that also played with my head a little bit, just seeing Ford in that position rather than William Hurt, because I don't know, I just felt a bit of a disconnect because not to take anything away from Ford's performance, like it was incredible.
That movie didn't deserve to have that performance in it.
He was amazing in it, but I wasn't quite connected because it was, and that's a me thing.
Yeah,
but it
whereas
just
the only letdown I had was I was waiting for Red Hulk the whole time, whereas I should have been like the few teasers, however poorly they may have been done throughout the movie, should have been what the fuck? Like I should have been like expecting, not expecting that's Red Hulk, and I should have been surprised and trying to figure out what was going on. So that's where I think the trailer let the movie down more than the movie let itself down.
My major issue with this movie, like, I enjoyed the movie from start to finish. It was a good movie. Not my favorite Marvel movie, but it was a good movie.
Yep.
Black Widow lady. She was tiny.
She was funny when she walked
And
into a
her
room.
head was 3 sizes too big for her body. And she just looked weird. Like, I mean, that's just how she looks. So no offense to people who have big heads. But I just couldn't believe her as a widow. Like, we've seen all these widows in the Black Widow movie, and they're all fit, strong-looking females. And she looked like a
businesswoman.
scrawny, tiny little thing.
You know who she reminded me of?
Unsuspecting.
You know who she reminded me of? This is really upsetting me that I can't remember her name, but the chick in The Incredibles that made the super suits. That's who she reminded me of.
Edna.
And she's actually based on a real actor. I have no idea what the actor's name is, but she's based on a real life person. There's an actor that looks exactly like Edna. That's who they based it on.
This one.
Yeah, I tend to agree. She didn't look like she fit.
No, it's just the wrong casting for that role, in my opinion.
I think my favorite scene in the movie was probably the White House scene. I loved that whole connection. When they're in the White House for the party, and when Ford gives it, or Ross gives his little speech about adamantium and like this peace treaty and all that. And then you hear the music going, you just see Isaiah's face glaze over, and he just stands up with a pit. You just kind of like, oh fuck, I was not expecting. Like that
was well done.
That was genuinely really, really fucking well done. And just like the way the trigger occurred, the way that you had the 5 guys in there, the way that Isaiah just got up, started popping shots off at Ross, and then
even,
whether the glass fell,
even
and then
just, at the start of that. When you watch them come into the party and he mentions that his phone's on the fritz and all, you don't put 2 to 2 together.
It's so subtle.
It was really well put together, that scene. Like, at no point did I think that was going to happen.
Because I think what did well too was the reveal of Ross saying that he wants to get the Avengers back together. Everyone's instantly saying, "Oh, okay, what's going on there?" And then you have the pivot to the shooting attempt. So
yeah. No, I thought that whole scene was easily my favorite scene.
One of my favorite lines, which ironically enough came from the trailer as well, but I didn't know they were red.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
My favorite was at the end with for fuck's sake, Bucky, telling me I don't need the damn serum. Yeah, I thought that was just his little comedic one line. He's got several. He's had so many.
Bucky gives that speech. Other than going, I like how Anthony Mackie turns to him and goes, "Your writers do that?"
Yeah. Because Wilson's got so many like little one-liners like scattered throughout like the whole series.
That's one thing I was really worried about going into this movie. Is Mackie just going to be comedy Captain America? And I was very happy to find out
a good balance.
He was very, very good the entire way through. Like, even his quips weren't comedy quips; they were just.
But they were also but they were also clips that made sense at the time. Like, as I said, at the end when he's fighting Hulk, he goes, "Oh, I wish I had that super serum now." Like that makes sense at that point in time. It wasn't forced in any way.
Yeah.
One thing I would have loved to have not seen but actually heard is a couple of references to other characters, like because we've got adamantium, like and adamantium being at the forefront now. There's other characters within Marvel who would have been, like the name drop would have been quite good, like Stryker or Trask. I think just a name drop or something in the background, or I think if they were at the presidential thing, I think it would have been great to see a name tag in the background of a couple of those guys. I think that would have been an awesome little tie-in and nod to things in the future.
That's one thing that I found the newer Marvel haven't done as well as like Phase 1, 2, and 3, where you see just little words here and there, like the earthquake off the coast of such and such in one of the episodes talking about Namor and like just all these little things that real fans will see.
So is that because like Phase 1, 2, and 3, they kind of had a clearer plan of where they were going, where I think since since then, like obviously they had the direction with Kang, which got scrapped for whatever reason. Well, we know the reasons, but
Everyone was hating it, and Kang, he got fired.
So, like, do you think that's maybe because they're trying to like pivot mid storyline and tie it, like redirect routes and things?
No, because the issue there is that they said, here's Kang, he's the big bad for the next 3 fucking things.
Yeah.
They did that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like just little subtleties, because you can have Stryker in a room and people go, "Oh, that's Stryker." Like, I wonder if he'll be in it in the future. I want to like it's those subtleties.
Kept on the lines of Kang, would we have had the adamantium reveal here and things like that? So like,
of course we would have.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, no, we definitely would have, because they bought the rights to like the whole.
They paid
they bought
$4 billion.
Exactly, they bought it. So
to have the rights to X-Men.
100% we would have got it in some way, shape, or form. But I'm not talking about the like having something at the forefront like they did with Kang. Like Kang was the guy.
No. Listen, I only brought Kang up not because of him being there, but like that was the storyline they were going. So like having the Easter eggs and thing in the background would have had to have tied some way into the Kang storyline.
But the Easter eggs back in the first couple of phases had nothing to do with the storyline.
Yeah.
It was just little nods to other characters, other worlds kind of thing.
I guess that makes sense with like the Howard the Duck thing you and I were talking about at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
The only big ones in those was the like the Thanos. Like they were that you can probably compare the Thanos Easter eggs as a comparison to Kang, because
the big difference there was that Thanos was 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Yes.
2 seconds, whereas Kang's a major part of the TVA. Kang's a major part of this. Kang's and it was just like too much Kang. Fuck him off.
No, and again,
we need our base salt of Kang.
He's trying to get out of the hole.
No. I wasn't saying Kang was the Easter egg. I was saying because that was the storyline they were going. So were the Easter eggs meant to like be tied in to that? Kang, it was not an Easter egg in any way, shape, or form that I was alluding to. Kang. Because Kang was a storyline because they waved him in our faces. We knew that, but it was like there was the end of Cap or Iron Man where we had the Thor hammer reveal and things like that. Like
Thor was the end of Captain America. I want to say.
I think so. They can't flash forward to the future or some shit.
Because the end of Iron Man was Nick Fury.
No.
Yeah, Nick Fury was in Iron Man's house.
No, that was Iron Man 2.
Iron Man. Sorry, yeah.
I want to start the Avenger Initiative.
Yeah.
And the end of Hulk was Tony Stark meeting Banner in a bar, saying
meeting Ross in a bar.
No, it was
Banner. Ross.
It was Banner.
It was Ross, because he said because Ross was down on his luck having a drink, and he goes, "You want to have a look at this?"
Yeah.
Anywho, that's stretching there.
Speaking of after credit scenes, this movie did have an after credit scene. If you're not going to watch it and you're relying your entire basis of this film on our chat, firstly, you're a fucking idiot. Okay.
Or you're absolutely completely correct in trusting our judgment.
The after credit scene is basically is Mackie walking in, seeing the leader, and the leader goes,
"You're in trouble.
There's other worlds. Shit's about to go down."
Yeah.
And E.G. Secret War.
The others are coming.
Yeah.
So E.G. leading into Doomsday, which is first, which is next year, which apparently they're about to start filming.
I think they've just started shooting, but some of it's been pushed back.
Yeah.
And apparently there'll be a few scenes where Tom Holland's stunt double is being shot because of his time commitments to the Odyssey.
Yeah. Sure. I don't give a fuck. I mean, he's got a fucking Spider-Man mask on. Who gives a shit? It's just like saying that Pedro Pascal can't be the fucking Mandalorian. Yes, he can. They shoot that into 90% of that show without Pedro Pascal. He's even said multiple times that half the time he's not even on set.
No.
That's not a gripe for him at all, is it?
No. He's still getting paid.
He's still getting paid. He's doing the voiceover work.
All right. So, PAX. What's our PAX?
Oh.
I'll start. I think it's a solid 7. I think it's good. It's not fantastic. It's not reaching the upper echelons of Marvel movies, but by far and away, it's a lot better than half the stuff they put out recently. So, yeah, for me, it's a 7.
I enjoyed it. I'll watch it again. There was just too many things that I was griping with, whether it was because of my own personal issues that I had walking into it or not. But I'll go 5.5. Yeah.
I'm going to go 6. 6 packs for me. So there you go. Captain America 4, Brave New World. It was good. Go see it. Recommend it. Have fun.
Cool.
On to some comics news. Now, we head over to our friendly, uncomic familiar friend, Zachary here.
That's me.
Now, we've been trying to educate him in some of the better world of comic reading.
It's a long process.
It's a long process. And for those of you, hold it up to that camera. For those of you who are at home and can see this on YouTube.
Oh, me. Okay.
Yep, there you go, Zach.
I was showing it to the middle cameras.
You're
It's me.
You're a special person. We gave Zach Hush to read this week. Hush is a two-part. Well, it was. Did it come out as trade backs or was it
I
single
think
issue?
it
I
did
think it was
because
trade backs, yeah.
inside it, it's like different chapters and things, which all look like they had a different cover.
No, I think it was single issues. Can't remember. Yeah, but basically, it's at the moment you can get it as trade backs now. It's just 2 trade backs. So I think you can even get it as 1 now. Of the story of the villain Hush with in the world of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Not really much you can say without giving a fuck ton away.
Yep.
In a lot of it, but basically, it's got a lot of villains. It's got Soup in it.
It's got a lot of the. Like, if you're not familiar with the just generic Batman storyline, it's got a lot of the cool spin-off things. So you've got multiple versions of Robin that are either in it or mentioned in it. You've got, just about every Batman villain I knew plus more in it. Superman's in it. Got the Oracle, which I didn't know anything about until this. So that was cool to find about But like twists and turns from start to finish. And it was thoroughly enjoyable.
It's a really good mystery comic. It's more mystery than Batman. In my opinion.
Me thinking about who Hush was, and I thought I thought I picked it straight away, and nope, I didn't. Oh no, yes, I was right. Oh, no, I wasn't, and I was. It had me guessing and excited to read each page as we went on, so it was good.
Excellent.
The artwork in it is fantastic as well. Some of the scenes and shots in it were great. I loved how they did like the action scenes, and I don't know if this is a traditional comic trick, but like Catwoman's doing the flip and you have like the ghosted images of Catwoman going through.
That's a pretty standard thing. But
that was cool to see.
Okay, so you like it? Recommend it to people?
Oh yeah, I'd 100% recommend this to read. It's short, like I think series like this, like complete little mini series sort of thing like this, where it's easy to read start to finish. Same thing as like Old Man Logan that you gave me to read before, where it's quick and easy to knock out and you get a complete storyline. It's great. Okay,
spoiler now, so beep, 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 beep. Let's actually talk about the comic.
Yep.
We'll leave the reveal to end. What were some of your favourite parts?
The reveals were fantastic.
Yep.
As in the reveals as it went along? Or?
Yeah. So I said, so from start to finish, it was, each twist had me hooked and I'm like, oh, it's this person. And then it was like, oh no, I'm wrong. No, it's this person. Oh no, I'm wrong. So starting out, I kind of thought it was Two-Face from the start, just because I don't really know. There was just a hunch. But as the story started to evolve and we got introduced to Tommy Elliott, the Doctor, instantly I was like, this is going to be him, because there was a certain comment he made as he was leaving one of the night visits he had with Bruce. I was like, this is the guy. Like,
I believe he does become Hush.
Yeah.
So as it goes on, it's
we'll give the big reveal at the end. Whoops.
well, yes and no.
Yeah. It's been a very long time since I read it.
I was gonna say yes and no in your reveal there. So I thought it was going to be him, and then next minute he's shot, and I'm like, well, it's not Tommy.
He did.
And then, but even the reveal of like all the villains doing villainous things, but actually no, like it's out of their character. Like, what's his name? Super Croc.
Yep.
Is that his name?
Killer Croc.
Killer Croc. Killer Croc kidnapping someone for ransom. You're like, yep, that's something that villains do, but not this villain. And like seeing like Catwoman stealing something, but actually she's just turned good, so why is she doing this? And
I remember some of those panels because they were really, really cool. You'll look through some of the earlier ones where Batman and Killer Croc are fighting, and you can see like tiny little silhouettes of Catwoman through different like little windows and whatnot. So like if the panel's an A4 size, like this little bit's like a centimetre big. It's a really cool.
That caught my eye, and then like the very next page, you're like, oh, that's why, because she turns up and steals all the money. But like the reveal of the villains doing villainous things, but actually they're being manipulated into doing those
loved
things.
Poison Ivy taking control of Superman.
Yeah, that was pretty
cool. All that kind of stuff. And just how I love how they crack Superman out of it. How Catwoman just grabs Lois Lane and just goes, throw her off the building. just throws her off. Like, I presumed he was going to save her.
Yeah, look, I could have saved her. I just trusted that you would.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I believe it. But yeah, and then continuing on, so we go from, think it's Tommy Ellett until he's shot. The reveal of Jim Gordon being sort of like just another sort of vigilante, so to speak, because he's not the commissioner anymore in here. He's retired, but still turning up and saving Batman's ass is pretty cool. And yeah, so then that's why I thought it was going to be Two-Face, because he's sort of revealed at one point and then reveals himself in Jim Gordon's house saying, this is the gun, like it was your ex-service revolver that killed Tommy. So like you're in, it's like, oh, okay, so Two-Face is the killer. But no, then it turns out that to reveal that we've got Raj Al Ghul's brought into it with the Lazarus Pits. Hush is first revealed, then finally to be Jason Todd, who has died and been revived in the Lazarus Pit. But no, turns out that was Clayface doing it. So yeah, like I said, twists and turns everywhere, and every twist brings in yet another villain. We had Batman almost killing the Joker as well. That was next level for me. As never really seeing. I know Batman does go those sort of lengths in the comics, but never reading before to see him on the verge of actually beating Joker to death. But yeah, so we get the final reveal that Jason Todd was not Jason Todd, it was Clayface, and Hush was actually Tommy Elliott the whole time. It was Clayface that was the one that was shot impersonating Tommy. And then, the final big reveal, which completely made sense in the end, was the fact that it was all the Riddler scheme.
Post-cancer Riddler.
So it was the Riddler that went into the Lazarus Pit and used it all up. So, because we led to believe that it was Jason Todd that was put into that. So seeing it at the end with the Riddler there, and the way it ends with Batman going, yes, you might know my secret identity now, but you're the Riddler, and the only good riddle to you is the riddle that nobody knows. And if you reveal my identity, it's worthless to you. And that I will, if you do, I'll just tell Raz, and Raz doesn't know that you're involved yet. So if you can bite the whole League of Assassins, good luck to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, from start to finish, I thought it was wonderful.
It was such a great one. I remember reading it and feeling the same way, just going, wow.
Yeah.
And especially right at the end when it's like, it's Riddler, you're like, one of the shittest of Batman's villains just was the biggest villain in one of the best Batman comics. Like, oh, damn, son.
Yeah, so the only way I sort of started to put it together towards the end was because you start to get a few bits of, we saw the Joker here and Harley Quinn here and like Killer Croc here, and listing all the villains like, well, the Penguin hasn't been mentioned. And then he gets this short mention like, well, it's not the Penguin, so... Well, the only other villain I have left is basically the Riddler, and the Riddler kind of makes sense.
There is a little tease at the start somewhere, isn't there, with the Riddler?
He reveals a note that sort of is, to me, was very innocuous, but for a few other people, like made complete sense. So
if you haven't read or you don't want to read comics, there is the cartoon animated version of this, which is very, very faithful to the comic, as most DC animated movies are. So I recommend having a squiz at that. Even if you have read it, it's still good to watch.
Yes, and they are bringing out a third iteration or a continuation of that storyline with the same writers, same pencilers, same inkers and whatnot coming back. I can't remember when that's actually due to come out. I think it was later this year. But in any case,
and we've established that it's called Hush 2, but it's not actually Hush 2, it's Hush 3, because there is a Hush 2 that came out.
No, because there's Hush Part 1, Part 2.
No,
because that was a two-parter.
Yeah, and I have the trade back of Hush 2. We've established that this happened. We've established
that it was a different storyline.
No, we've established it's a Hush 2. The book literally is called Hush 2.
The Hushioning.
The Hushioning.
But I was saying, continuing on from that, we have the rumors that Hush is going to be the villain in the Batman Part 2.
Yes. So
that'll be very cool to see if they bring this storyline into effect or it's a different Hush storyline. I don't know if there are many others out there.
There's definitely several. I've not read any other Hush storylines. I've only read that one.
But yeah, I think what's cool in this is it's a villain that's not really a villain. It's everyone else. A villain made up of all the villains sort of thing. So
yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if they do bring Hush into the Batman 2, how they're going to do it, because they basically did the Riddler portion of it in Batman 1. So they will have to change that storyline drastically.
Yeah, that's right.
But also I feel like if they were going to go that route,
Well, I think
it's just going to be the character of Hush, and it's going to be a new story because there's just too many villains to introduce.
Well, I was just about to say that.
into a
Like,
single
literally, the
movie.
only villains we have is the Penguin and the Riddler and the
Catwoman.
Catwoman's we got Catwoman too. But yeah, like even the Penguin is one of the most developed storyline characters we have in that universe at the moment. But he's not really in this. He's just a flashback of when he meets is it Howard the mechanic. That's the only reason why the Penguin's in it. So to bring Hush into it, if it was to be faithful to the storyline, you'd be introducing a lot of characters in the next movie.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be faithful to that.
No,
I think it'll just be the character.
character, yeah.
And look, the character might be getting his strings pulled in some way, shape, or form. But no, it'll just be the character.
So what would you recommend it out of 10?
I'd give this about an 8.
Oh, nice.
I definitely think it was fantastic. It had me engaging. Definitely think there's room for improvement with a few things, only because it's probably what makes Hush so great, but also brings it down is there's no one real character villain to focus on and sort of want him to get his comeuppance. You said you see the ultimate reveal of the Riddler at the end, and it's at the end, and that's it. You do get a bit of comic with, I said, how Batman sort of shuts him down at the end, but yeah, I said, what makes Hush great, I think, is also his weakness is the fact that he is no one, sort of thing. So, but yeah, overall, it was fantastic. And I think for books like this, I think will allow the common non-comic book reader to enter the world of comics because it is a short...
Especially the world of Batman, where there is a lot... Like, his rogues gallery is huge.
So much shit
going on. And the Bat family is huge. So it's good to meet... all these characters.
Yeah,
bang,
it does explain, the reveal of Dick Grayson as...
Do they explain who Oracle is in it? I can't remember.
Yep. So they revealed Dick Grayson is now Nightwing and why he became Nightwing, and they reveal who Jason Todd is and what happened to him being killed by the Joker, and they reveal the next one, which is... I just read it. Literally, what's his name? Anyway, the third iteration of the Robin.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim. They reveal who Tim is and things like that, and the way that he's brought into it is cool as well. You get Batwoman being revealed as Oracle.
What's his... Damien's the fourth one.
Well, yeah, we didn't get to Damien.
Damien didn't exist when that came out.
But yeah, like I said, all the reveals along the way, you don't really need to read and have a background knowledge of a lot of the storylines and things that are brought into it. It is concise, and yeah, from start to finish, you can read it in an hour to 2 hours sort of thing. And it's a complete storyline. It's fantastic.
Cool. Whilst we're on the terms of comics, this is kind of comic anime adjacent sort of site. So I mentioned it briefly at the start of the podcast. If you're listening then and you're still listening now,
thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So basically, I just want to talk about some mangas I've been reading.
Sure.
So basically, I mainly started reading this one because I just rewatched the anime, and it's called Gleipnir. It's an anime that came out in 2020. It was 12 episodes, and it's about a guy who can transform into a monster that is essentially a giant mascot with a big zip on his back. And there's a girl who can get inside of him and control him. And it turns out that there is an alien who crash landed on Earth, and all of his friends, all of these crewmates and all that kind of stuff on the ship are all basically digitized into these coins that have been spread out over the crash site. And if you get one, you can put it into this machine, and essentially you get your wish come true. And so this dude he can't remember his past and all that kind of stuff. And this girl finds him, and she's a bit of a psycho. Turns out she wants to find her sister, who can turn into a ghost and killed her parents. So they team up, and they're trying to find these coins and all that kind of stuff. And then you find out the alien's like, if you can find 100 coins, I'll give you like the ultimate wish, like all the power you want. And that kind of sets it up. And then throughout the 12 episodes, you eventually find out that the memories that were lost were deliberately taken from him, from his friends, got to do with people dying, committing suicide. It gets very convoluted. But I remember watching that going, this is awesome. And then it came up when I was looking for animes to watch. Again, I was like, rewatch that one again. Rewatch, and I was like, this is great. I'm like, into the fucking manga.
Yep.
Fuck, the manga is good. I've got 2 volumes left. There's 14 volumes, each with 6 issues, or whatever the fuck they call them over there, because they publish them in magazines and then collect them into the volumes.
Yep.
It's so good. The storyline in it is so good. It's like the chick who died, another one of the friends got the power to bring people back to life because. Okay, let me get this right. So one of the chicks in the group committed suicide, but no one knew, and only another girl in the group. She's the only one who knew and found her, and so she took her body down, buried her, used her wish with the alien to make herself look like the one who committed suicide.
Right.
But then one of the guys in the group thinks that she killed the other one and took over her life. So he kills her, but then eventually finds out that no, this is what happened. And so he loses the plot and he goes and wishes that he can bring people back from the dead. And then he goes and collects 100 coins. He's the first person to get 100 coins. And then he uses his ability to bring back the one he killed from the dead. But because she'd been cremated and all this kind of stuff, he had to use all these other people's bodies and stuff. So he starts turning into a mass murderer and killing people and to recreate her body, but she doesn't have a soul. So she just goes around and she just wants to remove the despair from people. So she starts just wiping people from reality. And so it's just, and then there's all this alien shit and just people fighting each other looking for these coins and this weird and wacky, wonderful powers. And the dude finds out that if the right people are inside of him and they have the right feelings at the same time, they can merge into like a super being and become one person and like go hardcore and fucking just kill people and shit. And it's fantastic. Highly recommend the manga. 2 volumes off finishing it.
So when you started this, I thought you were going to be upset that a lot of the mangas, mangas that get to an anime don't get finished.
Well, that is one of the things that we were talking about at the start of the episode. A lot of mangas, and a lot of animes, one season will come out and they're never popular enough.
Yeah, I was going to say
you never get an ending.
I've had this chat with mate Sam, who's like deep into anime and mangas and things like that, and yeah, that's what he said. Like basically, it's like the America's version of sort of sitcoms where they get 1 or 2 episodes for a pilot run. Animes get like 12 to 15 episodes sort of season run, and if it gets picked up after that, it's great. If not, it's just left and they go again because there's thousands of mangas that are written every year by everyone trying to become the next great manga writer that they've got an endless supply of things to create. So
there is another one that I watched because I was looking for things to watch and I kind of went, what are some weird out there animes to watch that like no one had really heard about? And there's one of them called, stick with me after I say the name.
Oh God.
What was it? I think it's called End of World Harem or something. So a harem is when one dude has multiple women in Japanese anime.
Right.
As basically usually a man and then like 6 girls that are pining after him.
Okay.
So essentially in this one, what happens is a dude has multiple sclerosis. And he has to go into like a hibernation thing for 5 years when they come up with a cure for it. It's in 2040, it's set. And so he does. But then when he wakes up, a year after he went into the chamber, a virus spread throughout the earth called the MK virus, and it only killed men. Mm-hmm. And it wiped every male off the face of the earth. And the only people who have survived, who are safe from the virus, are these people that had multiple sclerosis and were frozen. They're the only males that are immune. And so essentially they come out, and at first I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, this is just got to be fan service. Like and then the story started to kick in. I was like, oh, this is actually don't get me wrong, there's a lot of fucking fan service in it. But the story was really good about the dude it's based on is he's the second male to be woken up. And they're like, you need to mate. You need to reproduce, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I don't want to. And he was a med student before he went in. So he's like, I'm going to come up with a cure. And then it starts delving into like who made the virus and all this kind of stuff. And it turns into like this big mystery of this kind of thing. And then
China.
And then, no, it's all Japan. And then it has and it has like a side character they're making him pretend he's in school and he has to sleep with all the girls and blah, 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 blah. And it's the main character story is the actual interesting part. But it actually turned out to be really enjoyable anime. And I was like, and it ends, I was like, ended on like a
decent note.
No, it just ended.
Oh, right.
And he was like, for fuck's sake.
So now you got to find the manga.
So I started reading the manga And I ended up stopping because it was just way. The manga was really fan servicey.
Yeah, okay.
And I was just like, this is. No.
Damn.
Yeah, so I stopped reading that one. But it was interesting. But there are those weird ones out there that are wacky and wonderful, and I recommend. And I also started reading the Death Note manga as well.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, it's a lot better than the anime.
I was going to say, I've
Yeah,
heard it's really, really
everyone said that.
Yeah, it's so far, I'm only 1.5 volumes in, and it is so far a lot better.
There's parts in it that both highlight the show's positives, but also highlight the negatives of the storyline.
The anime was phenomenal, and the live action movies phenomenal. The American one was okay. The Japanese live actions are phenomenal, and the new series, which is got nothing to do with the mangas and stuff, it was also really good.
Yeah, I said from Sam, who's read the manga, said it's a lot better than the animes and things like that, but also highlights the weaknesses of the storyline and things like the main one of the main characters' adversaries, or no, the wife of someone finds out basically who he is, and like within 5 episodes or something of her, five volumes of her release into the story, and she just dies out of nowhere because the author was like, I can't have someone like this powerful in the story at the start because it's just going to fuck everything up. So like, yeah, you could kind of see he was learning as he was going throughout, realizing his mistakes, which as he fixed them kind of then ruined them as well. So.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that is one of the things, like I said, how they publish manga. It is very much 6 pages.
Yeah.
Like 6 or 7 page kind of thing, usually published in a magazine kind of thing. So it's not big issues.
Like Jump magazine or something like that.
Oh, there's multiple of them. It's not like big 30-page issues, like your standard comic book kind of thing. Not even 30 page, like 20-ish pages, like kind of thing. So, and usually they're like big arcs. They have set up like 6-issue arcs. So they'll have that whole arc planned kind of thing. Whereas this, I sometimes get that feeling like that where they're kind of just week by week going through the notions. Like even like old mate who's doing One Piece has said he had no idea how he's going to fucking end it.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't even know if they're going to get there. So
and that's it. Every now and then he comes out with some new interview where he's got some more new revelation about something. I'm like, but I'm not sure if this is actually true interviews anymore because like everything seems to contradict things.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I was a kid and I wanted to write the greatest manga ending ever, and now I'm going to do this because of this. But like 2 weeks ago, I read something that was like completely different. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stop reading these interviews now.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll say I've got just a random one sort of to throw in before you go into yours. Is it's one that is actually got besides Dan didn't want me to read the manga. One called Hell's Paradise.
Okay.
There's only a season of the anime out at the moment. There is a second season coming. I just don't know when. But basically, old mate can't think like John Wick in the sense of like he was the hitman. He would go around and kill everyone. Had to change a heart because he found love, and that was sort of it. So he was released because of that. But then wife dies, things like that. He gets slowly brought back into it, gets framed for...
That's the anime?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old mate from Vox Machina.
Oh, is it?
The lead...
Matt Mercer?
Matt Mercer. He does the voice for it on the anime.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like fat now and he's old. Is that the anime we're talking about?
No.
Oh,
that's like Sakamoto Days.
Yeah. No,
I thought that's the one you're talking about. Sorry.
So, yeah, but this one, so basically he gets...
It's the same storyline.
Yeah, basically. This guy gets basically sentenced to death sort of thing, but he's allowed to go and on this suicide mission to this mysterious island where everyone that goes there never comes back, and they've got to go there and find the source of, they think like Fountain of Youth is there basically. So they're going there, and it's the season 1 ends with a great fight scene with him sort of waking up with amnesia, and he's forgetting why he's there and like his goodness. So he's sort of gone back to his old ways. So, but yeah, from the visuals in it are stunning. I think you'd love it just for that part of it.
Yeah, all right. Cool. Sounds good.
I was going to throw out a little one that I stumbled across on Kickstarter. It was Mike Morg Necromorphosis. Now, this is a Coffin Comics release. So written
Lady
by
Death. They did Lady Death.
La Muerta, Hellwitch,
Evil Ernie.
Yep. All those types of things. Which is Brian Polito, who's the founder of Coffin Comics. This is awesome. It is literally just about a kid who's just a metalhead. He's 18 years old. He's kind of like, yeah, man, I'm going to do my job, then I'm going to go to my metal fest and just going to hang out with the guys. Like, and he's just getting a guy like rattling on him saying, you can't do this, you got to focus on your work and stuff like that. And he's like, nah, man, I'm just going to go chill. And then they start going on this little car trip to the metal fest. They get pulled over by cops and like, quick, man, ditch the weed. The cops are not actually cops, and they get taken by like an evil doctor type thing who's trying to help his sister or his wife, one of the two. And Mike Morgana, or Mike Morg, ends up getting kill fists, which are big green glowy type things, and they just want to kill other people, and he can't control it, and it helps with his youth and his age and whatnot. And one of his best mates, his name's Ratso, so he gets his soul transferred into a rat. So he's got a little rat companion named Ratso who can control rats. And you're like, fuck, it is a bit wild. And as you're reading through, you're like, this is fucking sick. Like it's really cool. The inking is awesome. The panels are amazing. And it is just super fun. It is just a wild ride that is just awesome.
Coffin Comics got some good art.
Yeah.
Like Lady Death, most Lady Deaths are phenomenally drawn.
Look, I've never read Lady Death.
Great comics.
After reading this, I'm kind of like, I'm going to have a look into some of their other stuff because this is just fun. Really cool. And it's even like, I wasn't expecting it to have gore. I was expecting it to be a little more PG and just like go through the story. It's got some pretty gory shit. Like when he gets his kill fist, like one of the first things he does is punch like through another guy's head, and like it's brains and an eye over here, and then he cuts another guy. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Very, very good. So if you stumble across it, get onto it. As I said, I went through a Kickstarter for a digital copy. I don't know when it's getting released, but it'll come through the Coffin website at some point.
What you just said actually there's another manga I just did finish as well called Chained Slave.
Right.
Again, this is a fan service one.
Say.
But it's rather enjoyable. So essentially these portals start opening all over Japan, and they sort of go to like another dimension that's more like kind of like a hell dimension, and they have all these monsters and shit in it. But it has these fruit, these peaches in it, and if females eat these peaches, they get superpowers. But guys can't get superpowers.
I think you've told me this.
So they set up these defense bases, and they have the Demon Defense League, and each one has like 4 women that live at her. And the story based around this guy, and he gets sucked in there with these portals that accidentally open. And it turns out the team that helps him, the captain's main power is to enslave things. So she can like enslave these demons and ride them and use them to fight and stuff. And she just figures out she can enslave him. And when she enslaves him, he turns into like this big fucking fuck off monster that she can ride and fight these other demons with.
Right.
But and here comes the fan service. After he turns back, she has to reward him. But then it goes on to she can lend her power out, and each time he joins with a different female, his form changes. Like one of them, he turns into like a super fast, like ninja style one. Sure. Another one, he can grow big, all this kind of stuff. And his sister ends up being one of the baddies. And then God,
so it sounds like a really cool
and
concept.
then gods come into
Just
it.
needs to lose kind of the fan service.
So it's almost like Ben 10, but instead of it being a selector watch, she's got to fuck them.
Oh, there's no sex. They don't bang. It's more though he gets to lick their armpits and stuff. It's fucking weird, man. It's Japanese stuff. It's weird.
I love anime.
It's so weird. There is an anime of it, and then the manga, which it hasn't finished, but I'm up to where it's currently up to. But it's a good storyline if you can get past the boobies,
licking armpits,
boobies and licking armpits. Yep. Yeah. So that's it. I think that's about all we've got the time for today.
Yeah, I'll throw one very quick one in that I'm going to look at. It's one that I'm going to start having a gander at. It's called Calavella. It is a graphic novel which basically takes some really, really, really old writings and put them into a graphic novel format. I'm going to have a look through it.
Well, we're talking like Shakespeare and all that kind of shit.
No, we're actually talking about the works that J.R. Tolkien based Lord of the Rings on.
Oh, okay.
So I'm expecting a fair bit of fantasy through it and whatnot. But yeah, I stumbled across that. I thought, you know what, that idea is really cool. I'm going to have a gander. So I'll talk about that one next week.
That's kind of like the Grim Fairy Tales by Xenoscope, which we've talked about the Alice in Wonderland ones. But the actual base series, that's kind of what they did. They took the original Grim Fairy Tales, not the Disney version, the actual ones that are like 99% of them are fucked up, and sort of retold them, which are really good.
They're like Pac-Man. That's fucked up.
Oh no! Like if you've ever seen any of the original Grim, they're not
good.
I think there's only one Grim Brothers fairy tale that ends happily. All the others don't end happily, apparently.
Well, the thing I'll quickly throw in is that I've been reading the End Times books, which have been out for years now with Warhammer, but reading The Fall of Outdorf, and it's great to actually finally see like Nurgle be a main demon in it. Normally it's sort of Zench, Slanesh and Khorne are always the main one. So, just had the Great Unclean One appear, and like hearing the descriptions of the bloated mess of fetid smells and things like that. Like it's really cool and for me, like it's cool for me because Nurgle is sort of the chaos aspect I sort of tend to want to play. So they just seem to have the most personality, really. But yeah, it's been really cool to read so far.
If you go onto YouTube and you look up Midwinter Minis, they've got a series where they're making more accurate sized miniature of the Great Unclean One, and essentially it's the size of a Titan. A Warlord Titan. Jesus. And it looks so good. They haven't finished it yet, but fuck, it looks good, man.
I didn't realize it was that fucking big.
Yeah.
Oh, he's kind of one of those things, like it changes size.
Sure.
But usually demons in general. Demons really in the lore can be any size or shape.
He's usually depicted as like fucking a giant ass.
Giant blob.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep, that's about it, guys.
I've got a question before we end.
We've tried to wrap up 3 times. We're still going.
I've just got a question. So
unplug him again.
I'm trying to bring back our painting series into the new year.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a Hush model we can paint?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. We'll bring a villain for us to paint next week and we'll go from there.
Let's do
Riddler.
No, let's do Wonder Woman on a horse.
You've already painted it, haven't you?
No, I haven't, but I've printed it, but I haven't painted it.
Okay. Sweet. But all right, we can end up there now, guys. And I know.
Thanks.
Well, that was the answer to my question. I asked for Hush. You gave me Wonder Woman. That was my question. Stay tuned. We are trying to bring back a lot of our series, so we are trying to book in a night to play many a game to bring you back our Frantic Plays games.
Yeah, that'll happen eventually. So that's about it, guys. Thank you very much for listening and watching. And I'm going to turn these other guys down. So thank you very much for listening and watching, and we'll catch you next time on Frantic Nerdcast.
Cheers, guys.
Stay frantic.
Hey, guys. Thanks for listening to Frantic Nerdcast.
You can find all our latest news and information on Facebook or at franticnerdcast.com.
You can find us on Instagram at Frantic Nerdcast. Find AJ at Weird Art by AJ. Find Zach at Frantic Kaz and myself at Frantic Brock.
Please make sure to head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe for more YouTube-only content like Sequelize It and Plays Games.